made the heavens, planted the earth, gave us stars for direction. But what was it worth if we don't have love? Oh, your perfect love. You filled the oceans, painted the sky, gave us each other. So tell me why, why we're lacking love. Oh, why we're lacking love. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? Yeah, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? My Lord, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, you can prophesy, speak in the tongues you made. But if you don't have compassion, how will they understand that we were made from love? Oh, we were made from love. Oh, yeah. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? My Lord, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? Oh, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Time to spread more love. Oh, perfect love. Supernatural love. Your love.
Woo! And that was True Osborne. Give it up for True. We love you, True. And Belle Ray. Welcome to Spirituality Gone Wild. I'm Debbie G. It's time for a cup of Grata with a shot of expression and 2 squirts of reality. And I have a really cool co-squirt today for the first time ever, Shari Jo Watkins. I'm going to welcome her to the stage. Shari, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm stoked that you're here. And for everybody who's joining, she's a speaker, author, business owner, coach, and an ordained minister. And she helps people step into the life they've always wanted but found themselves stuck in a hole. And she's a doctor of divinity with a strong focus on embracing your genius. Embracing your genius. So I am really excited that you're here. Today we're going to be talking about time hacks and a lot of other great stuff. So welcome. I love having new co-squirts. It's a cup of time for a cup of Grata.
Absolutely. I'm like on to my Mountain Dew though.
Hey, yo, whatever works, man. If it's Mountain Dew, then it's Mountain Dew.
It's
Mountain Dew, they say that Mountain Dew has like twice the caffeine. So, I mean, if you're going to do it, you're doing it right.
That's right.
Seriously. So I got really stoked to meet. It was Dee Dee Wong introduced me to you because you've got this incredible thing that you're doing, which if you had 4 days to save the world, 4 days to change the world, not save the world. Sorry, guys, change the world. I'm going to blunder everything. Just know that.
That's okay. Either way, it works.
Right? Either way. So you have a lot of things going on and a lot of cool stuff, but let's just dive right into you and what it is that you are bringing to this world, because it's really about that special gift that is Shari.
Thank you. So, all right. So me, I am, I'm that person that believes that you can absolutely positively do anything, be anything if you want it bad enough. And there's just a lot of people out there that get stuck, right? And, and not only are they stuck, but they don't even know they're stuck sometimes. They know that they're not happy. They know that they were meant for more. And, but we keep on going and going and going and going. And when does it stop? So, I spent a lot of time in the corporate world and then decided that enough was enough. And not that, that's everybody's path, but my path was I was supposed to be helping people change their lives. But first I had to change mine. So everything that I do is a direct reflection of everything that I've been through so that I can help other people.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that. That's why without your dark, you wouldn't know your spark. And it helps us to do this. So the guiding light is here. The guiding light is here. You guys ready? Yeah. Let's do some butt kicking. Let's do some butt kicking today. Okay. Why are people, why do they sit and procrastinate? Why in the world do they not get off their patooties and do what it is that they think they want to do?
Usually it's fear. And we get so, we get comfortable in the day in, day out routine that we actually forget to look outside of our own blinders and remember what it was that we wanted to do. Like some of the things that I ask people, like, what did you want to do when you were a child? When did you lose that? And what do you want to do now? So people sometimes they're just afraid to take that first step because what if the people around me don't support me? What if I fail? Well, what if you fly? Yeah. So, usually it's fear that stops people, but it doesn't have to be a permanent thing. You can overcome that fear.
Yeah, completely. Okay. So give me an example of something in your life that was fearful that when you first realized that, well, wait a minute, I can walk through this and, you're still breathing.
Right. So, oh my gosh, there's been a lot of them actually. But I had, I spent a long period of my life believing that there was something wrong with me. Okay. From the time of a childhood, I was different, right? I was that kid that came home with straight A's and like 27 checks for behavior, not because it was bad, but because I was different. Right. And I learned to believe that being who I was and the way that I was with the energy that I have and the passion and the want to know more and want to share it, that was wrong. And so I learned to believe that I just had to be less, right? Be less so that I could be okay with everybody else and what everybody else expected me to be. And I took that from elementary school to middle school to high school to job after job after job. And, and I found myself recognizing that I was very, very good at pretty much anything that I really wanted to do. But eventually I realized that it wasn't enough. And it was because I was trying to fit myself into boxes that I didn't belong in. And so, there was that moment when I was in healthcare administration for a very long time. And while I believe in healthcare, I was not that person that was supposed to sit behind a desk forever worrying about Medicare penalties. My responsibility was to the people.
I could only imagine.
Yeah. My responsibility was to the people and to the people that worked with me because I had a bigger obligation to help them become the best that they could be. So there was like a wake up call inside me. And I'm 52 right now. I was 42 when it happened. When I finally realized, wait a minute, those things, they were not character defects at all. They were things that were placed inside me to make me amazing so that I could make an impact on the world. And that in and of itself is scary because listen, you think you're going to get all the support from all the people around you. And when you decide you're going to go against the norm, it's a little bit challenging because your circle changes, right? As you step out there, people don't understand why. Like, why would you walk away from something comfortable? Well, because I'm supposed to be over there,
Right. Oh no, I completely get this. Because what I'm hearing you say is that you got to this moment and it was like, aha, these are gifts. I resonate with that fully because I was always told the being different or talking too much. Now my mouth makes me muddy. What you got to say about that, Mr. Teacher?
Exactly. Like
Right?
I had the same experience. Like my father-in-law ended
Yeah.
up he was my elementary school principal, and he passed away in 2012. And at his funeral, my third grade teacher said to me, she was like, Shari Jo, you were always so smart. It's a shame you couldn't behave like your brother. And I was like, Mrs. I'm not going to say her name, but Mrs. So-and-so, guess what? I'm grown now and I get paid to talk.
Shit. I love this. Okay, dude, like we were so intelligent that we had so much to say. That's the truth.
Right?
And I'm sorry, Mr. Teachers and Mrs. Teachers, that you didn't understand that. Actually, it's cultivating. So, what really this is about is how we cultivate the glory and the beauty within other people. And that's what we're
Right.
doing. So, we first see it within ourselves because I believe that we can't see something we're not. It's just impossible. We also attract like for like. Let me tell you what.
Yeah,
Right? And
absolutely.
so, right, I love this. And I was just sitting here listening to you going, because I'm 53. So I'm right there with you.
Right.
So well, we step into this and we know that we've been through what we've been through in order to step into the world to be a lighthouse. That's what the beauty is. And the glorious part about this is you have this incredible system that you've created. And
Yes.
this is I put the website here. You guys go to sharijowatkins.com, but it's also we're going to get into some time hacks today. And
Right.
you even have a free webinar, and it's to stop the cycle of anxiety, stress, and overwhelm. So we're going to kind of jump into that right now. We got a good backstory. You guys get it. She's without your dark, you wouldn't know your spark. You know what I mean? We
Right.
get it where she's coming from. We don't need to know more. Why? Because she's here to give us some tools to make this human thing just a little bit easier, because that's really what it's about. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
let's talk about that. Let's hack some time.
Awesome. Okay. So what happens is, we don't even realize sometimes how much time is being wasted in our lives. And
Mm-hmm.
in order to recognize how to change that, we have to recognize first what it is, right? What is it that's taking up that time, right?
Yeah.
So, like I'll use social media just as an example, right? My birthday was in December. I had all these people wishing me happy birthday, and I felt the need to go back and tell each and every one of them thank you, right? So,
Yeah.
as I went in and I was doing that, well, next thing you know, I've got this blue button down at the bottom that says see notifications you missed. So I click on that, and then the next thing you know, I'm scrolling down through because I saw this, and before you know it, I am 6 minutes into watching some guy make a life-size chocolate elephant. Okay, seriously.
Really?
So yeah, really,
Wait. A life-size chocolate elephant?
chocolate
It would.
elephant.
Is he trying to prove like how you eat the elephant in the room? Like
Maybe,
for
but
real?
I was watching him mold it, and I thought, oh my God, there's so many
That's
things
rad.
that I could be doing. Now think about this, right? 6 minutes and 33 seconds. Okay. Take that by 2 or 3 different platforms, right? You're looking at 18 minutes. If I hop on my social media and do random things at once an hour, okay, that adds up to literally more than 1,000 hours of time in a year. That's almost a full-time job. It's like a half of a job, right? So, so in order for me to like take a look at how do I do this? Okay, so I needed to sit and say, what sites am I going on? Why am I going there? And what is it really bringing me? Is it getting me closer to my goal? Okay. And then, so when you delineate that
Great
out, then
question.
you say, okay,
Mhm.
right. I mean, why am I going there? What is it bringing me? And then you take a look at it, say, okay, well, I'm going to purposefully go here only on this time or only during these times, or set myself a timer, because what I can do with an extra half of a job in a year is amazing, right? And consequently, that allows me more family time. That allows me time to read things that are purposeful. It allows me to connect with people on the level that I'm supposed to. And there's a ton of these things like gossiping. People don't realize that gossiping is more than just talking about your friends or talking about what's going on. It's a way of socialization. We end up gossiping when we have nothing else to say, like when we're at an event and we have to have general conversation, right? So
Right.
sometimes it's planning out what we're going to say and then having the courage in and of ourselves to say, well, wait a minute, that sounds a little bit like gossip, and I really don't want to participate in it. When you have just random conversations for no reason at all, you can literally waste about an hour and a half a day. Okay. Now, if you're a business owner and you have 20 employees that are accidentally wasting an hour and a half a day, imagine what that does to your bottom line and productivity.
Right.
Okay.
I do agree with that. I mean, so I'm hearing a couple of things. One is be intentional with your conversations.
Yes.
So, and I love that actually, because if we're intentional with our conversations, what is the opposite of being in gossip? It's being in what? It is being in gratitude, I'm thinking.
It
It is being in graciousness and gratitude for the person in front of you. You know, the simplest tool that I found to get away from gossip
What?
was just appreciation. You know,
Right.
just like a simple, so be intentional with the conversation and be like, and find something in earnest that you're complimenting, right? But
Right.
but
Exactly.
just make the other person feel really good. And even though most people will go, oh, blah, 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 let them. You don't even, then we don't need to go into the pointless argument of whether or not what you just said is valid and true.
Right.
If you say, oh my God, you look great, don't say, oh, well, thank you. It's just this whole, no.
No.
But
No.
I also
You
heard you say,
simply say
step in,
thank you and end it.
end it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. And the over explaining, the need for over explaining though, that's just an old I was talking about this last night. It's like an old codependent habit that we were in. It's just programming. So it's that conscious
Right.
programming of, yeah. And so when we have intentional conversations, and I love this, it shortening the time too. Imagine if you do have those, this is what is coming up right now. It's like, I'm seeing these employees and you're like, you look great today, or you're recognizing something quick and swift with them and keeping the momentum flying and high because you're in the appreciation factor, but yet you're not wasting needless time for
Right.
conversation. And I love that. That to me,
So,
that's a hell of a lot of fun.
and that literally what you had said about that, about making sure that we are not overthinking and making
Yeah.
things more complicated. There's literally in Time Hack, we dive into 37 different things that literally waste an amazing amount of time, right? And that's the first step to escaping the hamster wheel, right? So that hamster wheel, I mean, obviously, like I have this thing I say, like only hamsters belong on hamster wheels, right? You're going to go and go and go and really get nowhere. So when you keep going on that hamster wheel, there comes a point in time you're either going to barf because you've been going around so much, or you're just going to like fly off somewhere and,
Right.
and bang against the wall. And that's what happens. So that hamster wheel, so many people get stuck on it because they just don't know where to stop, right? So this program actually takes your traditional 12-step program
Hmm.
and breaks it apart into spirituality steps, right? So there's like 5 different areas that you look at. So like one of them is pruning, right? What do I need? Your plants cannot grow unless you prune off the dead pieces, right? What is it in your life that's keeping you from growing, right? What is it that's holding you back, right? And then the next step is weeding, right? You got to weed out that unwanted stuff. And that sometimes means letting go of things, right? And then you have that whole piece of saying no. We have such a hard time saying no. Like, how many times do you show up somewhere and you'd so much rather just be on your couch, right? Do you really have to go there? Do you really have to be involved? Or is it that you felt obligated? Because, especially as women, we feel the need to fix everybody. Guess what? Not your job.
Last I checked, no.
Not your job, right?
But man, did we spend a lot of years doing that shit, right?
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. A ton.
Cheers to our precious need being met through the only resource we had at the time.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And this is really, I'm loving this. In the chat are, whether you're watching now or on the replay, you just click on that link and you're going to go directly to this time hack. It's a free webinar and you guys can you can take a gander at this. I personally am going to, because I want to see what can I possibly look at? What else is possible? So when we get the opportunity to really experience something and ask ourselves what is possible, then we meet someone like Shari, who comes into our life and says, hey, I'm going to help you see what else is possible. So go take this. time hack because it's necessary. Give me another good one. What you were coming up with some goodies today. Let's hear another. What other time? How else do I waste my damn time?
Oh my God. Okay. So there's a ton of ways.
Oh, I've got a few.
I mean, so one of my favorites is literally when you sit there and complaining. Okay, complaining is one of them. Right?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, complaining is an obvious. I mean, it gets you nowhere, right? Complaining and worry go in the same boat, right? So, we cannot. Worrying about the future is like my grandma used to say. She's like, Shari Jo, worry is like a rocking chair; it gets you nowhere. You can do it all day long, but it gets you nowhere. You cannot truly project what tomorrow holds, right? You cannot gauge what you're going to do based upon what somebody else might think, right? So so worrying. I mean, you can be prepared and you can take action so that you are ready for the next steps. But then worrying about which direction it's going to go, that just leads to overthinking, right? And then overthinking leads to frustration. And then the frustration leads to complaining. And so you get this ball of ugly inside of you, which ends up becoming resentment. Okay. And resentment is is the most horrible thing. It's like that venomous snake, right? That snake does not come up and bite you and hang on until you're dead. All it does is inject the poison and sit back and wait for it to work. Okay. So when we allow these things,
little buggers, aren't they?
They really, really are, right? But that's what happens when you let all these things build up.
Yeah.
Piece after piece after piece, right? Another one that people do is, and this is, I was so guilty of this. Oh my God. Like I used to say that my husband and I would have these horrible arguments first thing in the morning. And I would win every one of them because he's not awake yet and I'm in the shower all by myself. Okay. Because I'm having both sides of the argument, all the things that I wanted to say, what I should have said, what I could have, blah, 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 right? All those things, right? And so when we try to relive the past by overthinking it and thinking what we could have done or what we should have done, okay, fine. Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe you wish you'd have said something differently. But reliving that over and over again is not going to change it. It's not going to change it. All you can do is spend a few moments thinking, okay, what could I have done differently? And then do something differently the next time.
I love this. Okay, so I know I'm going to just wasting time. And we're not talking about the Eagles song, Wasted Time.
No.
Even though that is a really good song, isn't it?
Yeah,
Lord.
Really.
Okay. Complaining.
Yes.
Well, you can't be complaining if you're appreciating. It's just that damn simple. No other way to look at it. I got to own this, though. I'm going to own something. All right. So, the last couple of days,
okay,
I had a situation come up in my life. Now, the situation's regarding money. Now, I don't know about y'all, but when you're expecting something to be where it needs to be and it's green and it's not, I was getting damn mad is what I was getting. I was just getting damn mad. I was pissed. Like, what, oh.
Well, and that happens to entrepreneurs a lot.
Right? Well, it does because we aren't, our survival is different. Well, that's the key though. I had to let that shit go this morning. Like I was in there doing dishes, girl, and I'm like, I was fault finding, complaining, and I mean, this is first, Miss Debbie gratitude, first thing in the morning. I was bitching
but when you recognize it, that's when you have an opportunity to say, okay, listen, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Stop. I'm stopping, because it's our own minds that lie to us and, and make us continue on with that. Like I literally, like you might catch me throughout the day saying, brain, nope, you don't get to lie to me today. No.
Okay. So here's how it looks. I love you right now. I love you. My brain got into this thing today. Okay. So what happens is you're right. This is where the tools come in. And this morning I thought to myself, Am I safe? See, the root in my anger, the root in everything was really just because I am expecting something. We all know what happens when you assume, expect, or anything else.
Right.
But it was that letting go part, and the way it looked was, look, I don't have to like it, but if I don't, I know that if I don't appreciate this moment for what it is, that I'm just going to loop the little shit out of it, and I don't want to
Right.
do that. So it was like, but this was happening this morning, and as we're talking, it's just almost more of a confirmation for me. That's like, you see, you have to do this. It's like, and I'm listening to you. But what else do you do when you are expecting something to come in, and you're just like you could have so I keep looking at I kept looking at the domino effect of, well, if okay, I got to come up with a solution. That was the first thing, racking my brain. I got to hit a solution for this. I need a different solution. Obviously this is going to need a solution, but this is my brain going that fast. And
Right.
my
But
there
did it
is
cause,
no
did
peace
it
in
cause
that.
the money to come in that moment?
No,
By something-
shit still did no.
Okay. That's the
No.
thing. Like, so like, what can you do about it right this minute? If there's nothing you can do about it right this
Jack
minute,
shit.
right. I mean, if there's nothing
Nothing.
you can do about it, all you have to make a decision. I mean, this can either ruin the next however moments that are possible for me to enjoy, or I can sit here and be a whiny baby about it.
But I was being a whiny baby. And here's the kick in the ass. I was being a whiny baby, and there's nobody to listen to my whiny babiness.
Well,
So it's wasted even.
so all you did was take up your own mind space and just keep yourself from going forward. So let me tell you something that I do when I can't, sometimes I have to physically let go of something, right? And when it's stuff in my own mind, that's not a physical, tangible thing, right?
Yeah.
So I have this giant pickle jar that's like this big, and
Yeah.
so the lid on it, I cut a metal. It's a metal lid. I cut a slit in it, and then I duct taped it shut, right?
Yeah.
And beside it is a little notebook, right? It's my God jar, okay?
Okay.
So every time I can't let go of something, I write it down and I physically stick it in there. And some days I have to write down the same thing several times because it keeps cropping back in, and I'm like, gone, right? So I can physically give it away, because otherwise, like, I have to have that physical piece of, I'm letting go of this. I'm just
That's actually a great
absolutely-
little tool. Okay, so I'm going to try that. So I'm going to be writing today. I have my little happy box, my little gratitude box that okay, but I love this idea that if you take and write it down and then get rid of it, can you burn it?
Sure.
Burn it.
anything you
Burn
want.
that sucker.
Right.
Burn it.
Yeah,
I obviously do not dig. I'm going to tell the universe what I don't. And the minute that starts to come out of my mouth, I go, and you're going to do that again, are you?
right?
Don't do it.
You're funny. Yeah, you know what? I mean, fortunately, we're human, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's
so-
right.
Yeah, I mean, we're human. We're gonna do the same things over and over again. But every time that we catch ourselves, it gives us a little bit more strength to recognize it. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like in the middle, like I might be having a conversation with my husband, and I'll be like, and and then I'll just stop, and he'll be like, "What?" I'm like, "Nothing." You know, it wasn't going to be anything positive. So what's the point of saying it?
Well, what is the point of saying it? Nothing.
Right. There's no point in
Nothing.
doing it. I mean, if it's not helping, if it's not doing good, if it's not, creating something else positive, because, it literally, mathematically, it takes 20 positives to counteract one negative in your brain. Okay. I mean, it's a physiological, proven thing that our brains and our eyes will naturally gravitate towards something out of the ordinary negative before we will recognize something positive. And I think it just goes back to the bottom line of clear back in the beginning of time that we are human, and and that of the way that we are just made, right? So when you think about it, when you're driving down the road, right, you might not notice the flowers in the middle of the median, but you will recognize the wreck. You will see the car that's pulled off along the side. So sometimes we have to purposefully, train our brains to recognize and look for the positive. If you're looking for something good, you will find it, right? If you're not looking for it, we may automatically gravitate towards what's not working.
I love that. And because and actually this is a really good tool and exercise for everybody to just go about their day and find 20 things today. Find 20 things that are awesome.
Nice.
I had that happen in my car. I was sitting there waiting for my son. I posted it on Facebook too. These pictures, this older couple, they get out of the car and then the husband comes over and he's doing the wife's hair.
Aw.
Seriously. And then I see this billboard later that's Oprah saying encourage others, or I don't remember exactly what it said. I should have taken no should have. I next time I'll take a picture and get a Kodak moment for y'all. But I mean, it's a Kodak moment. Do you remember the Kodak moment? I don't even know. Is Kodak even still a thing anymore? Or Kodak even around?
I don't think it is.
There's no more Kodak. So for all you youngsters, never mind.
My dad used to be totally into photography. We had like a dark room in our basement, and he would go to the Kodak store and get these things where he would roll his own film up. There is no more Kodak now.
Yeah, I used to do. I did that, and I did the dark room and the whole. I loved it. It was a treat. I love this. Hey, check it out. Wendy says, I had a God can at one time. Thank you for reminding me. God can.
Nice.
God can.
Absolutely.
I love that.
It is. It was in a God jar. Exactly. So you can have a God can the same way, and sometimes along with that, I'm going to tell you something also cool. And my pastor actually taught me this, when I was just a baby Christian, right? He said, I'm like, I don't understand. I should be over here by now. But why isn't this happening, right? And he said, Shari Jo, you have to understand something. You are a very strong-willed woman, right? When you set your mind to something, you're going to get it, right? You're going to do it. Absolutely. Yes, I am. But he said, here's the thing, right? Every time you say, I will, God can't, because he gave you free will and he's a gentleman. So therefore, when I have to say, I'm going to physically let go of this, right? And I stick it in my God jar, it's because here I am, I'm that strong-willed woman. We all think okay, we need help. We need to remember how to do this differently. Okay, thanks. I got it from here.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah, thanks. Got it from here.
Right.
As you're falling off the damn cliff.
Right.
Well,
it happens, again, we're human. But too many people get stuck in that rut. And this kind of goes back to that original pieces. We think, okay, well, you know what? I tried, I failed. May as well not try again. Right.
Yeah.
Well, just because it didn't work once or twice doesn't necessarily mean it can't work. Sometimes a no isn't really a no. Sometimes a no is just not yet. Sometimes you have to fail before you can succeed. What else? I mean, how else can you have things valuable to offer others?
That's straight up. I love that because I've failed more times than I can count. When you get the sacred yes and you work for God, because that's how it is. Is it failing, or is it just this life experience that shows us we might need to do things differently? But I'm getting to the point now of realizing that there's a lot of ducks in a row, but the duck that needs to be in a row is the one that most important, and that is how that you talk to yourself and how that you love yourself. And I think that all these experiences come down to just, even with me stepping into a space of worry, because that's what it was. It's fear. Right. It's fear. I may not be okay. Fear that I might not be able to whatever. It all will work out. Jesus, man, I can think about where I was last year and get into real gratitude right now. There's lots of different reasons that things happen, but our self-love, and I do believe that that's our journey here, is to truly discover this. How do we love ourselves enough? It's even when you were bringing up when we are saying something to somebody and then we're rehashing what it was we said, thinking we could say it differently. And it's like, well, shit, people, if I truly love myself, I'm going to speak my truth from the get. Am I going to give a flip a foe what they think? Yeah, no, because somebody else's opinion of me doesn't matter. And do you know why it doesn't matter?
Because they're not you.
But yeah, they live their life through their damn filter. They don't know shit. Well, I know what you're thinking. Oh, really? I didn't know you were itty bitty enough to get in my ear hole and into my head.
Right.
Like, nah, it's a crack up.
And
I
the more
can't know
time
what
you
you're
spend,
thinking. Right. We can't know that.
no, we can't. And you can obsess over it, but it isn't going to make an impact on anybody but yourself, like going back to that old adage of, allowing somebody to have free rent in your head, I mean, and that's a old high school thing, you know what I mean? But in reality, that's exactly what we do, right? The longer we stress over what somebody else thinks, honest to goodness, I'm not going to lie. When I first stepped out on my own, I expected a lot of people that I thought were going to be like, yeah, I'm right there with you. Let me help you. And it didn't happen that way. And one of the hardest things for me to be okay with was the fact that my dream is my dream. And until I'm willing to know that nobody else has any control over whether or not I believe in me, then it was hard. Once I realized and got that inside me, didn't mean that it was perfect from then on out. Doesn't mean that I don't overthink things sometimes still. But now I have the ability to say, okay, wait a minute. Your dream is your dream. It's not their responsibility. It's your responsibility to make sure that you stay in a good space.
Hot diggity damn. That's right.
Yeah.
That's it. Seriously. You guys, stay in your own damn lane. Mind your own vibe. Mind your own vibe. So that sparked that G vibe, your gratitude vibration. Ta-ting!
Yes.
Love that. All right. So good morning, Elaine. I want to know.
Okay.
Let's step into, so you did step out on your own. And now that you've stepped out on your own, you're also stepped into a space, which is why I got to meet you. Let's talk about the other side. You can work with Shari Jo, by the way, everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
You can just go right here and please, I'm going to put it in the chat one more time. Go sign up for her course. It is free. Get your time hacks right now. But check this out, because you're doing something that just tickles my fancy, but good. I love this.
Yes, I am.
Woo! Tell me all about that. This is so cool. You guys don't even know.
It is absolutely phenomenal. And, it's called the social movement, and it's 4 days to save the world, literally. So what we're doing, and when I say we, it's from, the visionary behind it all, the founder, Chris Lavoie. He's phenomenal. But he had this 10 years in the making, and it's the social movement. So what we're doing is we're bringing together, brilliant minds from all around the world to solve some of the most pressing issues. And these are things that are literally on the United Nations, social developmental goals list. So it's no small feat, right? Of course, they're big, big things, but it's allowing the genius inside us to be able to come out and play. Right. And really just kind of drop everything for 4 days and come together with other entrepreneurs, CEOs, founders, and be able to work on a topic that is literally going to change the world. And, and being able to problem solve at this level with people is phenomenal. And I can tell you that I've been meeting some of the most amazing people. It happens. We're working on season 2 right now. Season 1 actually airs here, in a month or so. So that's fantastic. It really is. But I'm actually still in the process. As a producer, one of the things that I get to do is talk to the people that want to be potential, candidates for being on the show. You don't have to, be a superstar. You don't have to be a model. We're looking for everyday people. So, also definitely reach out to me if you are interested in having a conversation about whether or not you would be a right fit to be involved. But let me tell you.
I love it. Oh, my God. she's taught, you guys don't even know. I heard about all this and said instantly, oh my God, we've got to get Miranda. Miranda from Clinton Lane. And why? Because it's Miranda. Trust me. Oh my
Right?
God. Well, the thing about this is that this is a focus of what can we do.
Right.
You see, there's a movement called Peace2030.Earth,
Okay.
and in that movement and reinventing the Earth, the social change has been proven. So, is this possible? Yes. Is this probably one of the most important reality shows that are going to ever be put out? I happen to say,
Absolutely.
you better believe
Absolutely.
it, man. I am going to bring this up for everybody, because I think it's this important that everybody, we should share this. Let's make sure that it's popping up on our screen here, and we'll trying to bring it full screen for you all. Forgive me if it's being a little difficult. All right, let's check
And
this out.
you can follow the social movement on Facebook as well.
Nice. Okay. Here we go.
I come to you with one question. If you had 4 days to change the world, what would you do?
The true genius is the one that enables the genius in others.
I will tell you that some of our most difficult moments is when the human potential and the human genius has an opportunity to show up.
What if I give you 4 days? 4 days where you can drop everything and just dare to dream.
You have 13-year-olds up to 65-year-olds competing at the same level.
What a surprise when the fourth team showed up.
But I had no idea it was going to be little hungry geniuses. Whose kids are these?
At this age, I was playing Donkey Kong.
I was worried about my quinceañera party.
These guys don't know any limits yet.
And we're playing with God, we're playing with Mother Nature.
Uh-oh.
The goal was, how do we solve the world's most important problem? Stopping a hurricane from making landfall. I was overwhelmed.
The challenge was pretty daunting. It's achieving 100% literacy for children all around the world. How can we provide wireless electricity to everyone, everywhere?
Imagine if we could just all be best friends and then continue changing the world. So imagine if for the rest of our lives, we just like hung out together, picked a problem, and then worked on it and solved it and executed it. And that's how we live.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
My heart is really in this.
If you have passion, you've got drive, and you've got a mission, anything is possible.
This was about solving some of the world's most pressing issues, the issues of our time.
Who doesn't want to get on board with making the world a better place?
We are challenging each other in the best way possible. That doesn't mean that they're going to win this competition.
Awesome, we're done.
Perfect. Peace.
The true genius is the one that enables the genius in others.
Oops, daisy. Woo! That is killer, man. And so to apply to be a possible candidate for season 2, you guys, you need to hit up Shari right here. Just go.
Yeah, just send me a message. You know what I mean?
Just send her a message.
Yeah, whether it's an email, or even just on Facebook, just send me a direct message. And then we'll set up a time to talk, there's amazing things inside of each and every one of us. And you never know, you could be in Miami this summer, because that's where season 2 is being filmed.
In Miami. Well, it's going to be sticky, hot.
Yeah, well, we're not going to be outside the whole time.
All right. I'm going to be there just because I don't even know how that is going to happen or how it is, but I could just promise you all, just tan. I already know that. How in what capacity? I don't know. We'll see. But I do know that for all of those that are on Unify, that this has been part of our global mission. We have been doing this for years, and this is some exciting stuff you all are doing right now.
Right.
And what's amazing is how the synchronicity and how the universe organized this. This was not my doing. This was not Shari's doing. However, we said the sacred yes. This is what we do. But the way it was lined up, I talked to so and so. Oh, you need to know so and so. Oh, you need to know so and so.
Right.
That's all there was to it. It isn't like it's just a trip, and then you wind up here, and it gets right into the belly of all of us that are living our life as the 100th monkey. Which
right. There's
totally,
no accidents.
No, which I believe that we all are the 100th monkey, that we are all the social change. We are all the tipping point. So we are, because, they're not sure exactly which monkey actually was it that created the tipping point of social change? No clue. That's why just be that, period, and show up as that. But this is why that we're here having this conversation, because you decided to say the sacred yes and show up. So let's give everybody another nugget. Let's shift it right back to you.
Okay.
And why does somebody want to work with you in their business?
Oh gosh. Well, for one thing, like coaching, having a coach, okay, is a very, very powerful thing. I mean, it is a very powerful thing. Like I'm a coach that believes in coaching. I have a coach. But when you have somebody that can look at things from an external piece, from an external site, it's easy for us to get blinders on ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So being able to have somebody that can help you look at it from another perspective, that can challenge you to take it to the next level, and really kind of call you out on your own shit. Because we like to justify things in and of ourselves. And it's easy, especially if you're a small business owner or if you're an entrepreneur, to say, okay, well, that's okay. I'll just move the bar. I didn't reach that goal. Okay, well, I'll just move the bar. Well, how many times do you move the bar before you give up? Right. So having a coach that allows you, that freedom to be who you are, but also then, challenges you to say, okay, well, then let's make a specific plan. Let's narrow this down, because maybe we're trying to go the wrong direction. Maybe who you're trying to work with is not really your true ideal client. You never know. So being able to work with me is a little bit different than other people. I don't follow a specific, this is how everybody that works with me does it. We really dive in and find out, where are your challenges? What is it? Where do you want to be? And let's figure out a plan to get there. Are we going to get there in 3 months? Are we going to get there in 6 months? Or is this going to be a year-long plan? And if you say, okay, well, I need to be there in 2 weeks, but you have something that really is a year-long plan, I'm going to say, okay, well, explain to me why you think that can happen. Okay. Because we have to have, you have to have a roadmap. You would never drive cross country without recognizing, now without your GPS, right? But without knowing mile markers, without having a map in the past, there has to be a measurable points in order for you to gauge success.
True. Because if you do take off without knowing where you're going and headed, you're just going to take a really fucking long time to get there.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
You might see some cool things along the way, but chances are,
there's some real cool things along the way. But then you get into the complaining, the fault finding, the resentment. So just don't do it. Just instead go ahead and sign up for a session with Shari. See if you're a good fit. If you are interested in seeing if you're a good candidate, and you've got a plan to change the world.
Absolutely. Hey. So there's a link on my page that goes to my calendar. So anybody can go to it's a time hack discovery call, right? Which is just like it's a free a free call. No obligation, just to see, because listen, I'm not right for everybody. right? I'm a little over the top for some people, and that's okay. But I would love to have a conversation with anybody that is interested in taking their life or their business to the next level. That's what I'm all about.
I love it. I've got it here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and post that link right here, you guys.
Awesome.
All right. I'm going to make it easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Sweet.
There you go.
Best.
I absolutely am.
That's right.
Rock star. And I have had a glorious time with you. Thank you for being a co-squirt today.
You.
It's been beautiful. You guys go check out ShariJoWatkins.com. Please go and take the free webinar. And get some great tools under your belt for doing.
Why not?
Yeah, got to do this human thing just a little bit easier and go forward today with your intention to be that, to be unconditional love to the best of your ability. And who may I be of service to in gratitude? Who are you grateful for? Who?
You.
Who? Me too. I'm grateful for you. All right, everybody. Peace.
Bye.